Why is health important to you? I always ask anybody who wants to work with me with their health, is why is it so important? How do you see that? Why is it so important to you? Why is that valuable? You know? And sometimes some people will come up with short-term goals, like, well, because I'm going to this wedding, or summer is coming, and so I need to look good for summer. Okay, looking good is one thing, but remember, just because you're looking good on the outside doesn't mean that doesn't mean that your mental state or your emotional states or your spiritual being is actually being nourished. If you won the lottery, where you're just freaking beautiful from head to toe, no matter how much neglect you do to your body, okay, you got your genes by your side. But you know what? Even that is not gonna last, because there's that thing called aging. And there's that thing called free radicals. And there's also that thing called stress. Stress changes your gene expression. It changes you on the inside. Stress is probably worse than any food that you can possibly put in your mouth as junk. There's also junk food, but there's also junk thoughts. Junk thoughts. Whatever junk you put into your mouth and whatever junk you put into your head, guess what? You're gonna be putting out junk. Yes, I no longer be shy about saying this with clients. Okay, I think the best thing I can be to them is, number one, I'm going to keep you accountable, and number two, I'm always going to tell you the truth, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Because the food that you eat, it has a certain energy signature. It has a density. Okay? It has density. So if you're eating a bag of popcorn versus some halal, organic, pasture-raised chicken meat, chicken thigh, let's just say, okay? This one is more real than the popcorn. Which one do you think has the better energy? This one, the chicken, So not that your cells is going to eat the entire chicken. No, it has to go through a process of digestion first, right? It needs to catabolize, meaning it has to break down first, that chicken, until it gets to the very, very smallest component of it, like amino acids, like those little molecules. Then now, that's what your cells can have. And those amino acids come with energy. And that's what you're feeding yourself, and that's what's needed, so that your cells can create what we call ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the currency, the energy currency of the human body. It all depends. To me, it's twofold. Actually, it's threefold. The food that you eat, you gotta give yourself a high density, good food that is compatible with your body. We know that we can't just be eating junk, because they're really dead, right? Anything that's taken away from nature and went through a process of many, many processes, going through a standard of process until it becomes different. Like corn, when you look at corn, there's really nothing wrong with corn until Monsanto started monopolizing the seeds, right? But ain't nothing wrong with corn in its truest state. If we don't manipulate the seed, it really is nothing bad with it, right? But where can you find corn that you can still rely on? It's hard when you're living in the United States, and Monsanto it's everywhere, and they're monopolizing the crops, and they got herbicides and pesticides, and they own lands, It's hard to rely on corn now. And then on top of that, it's not just the corn, the natural corn. You take corn from its environment and then you take it to a manufacturer and say, I want to make this corn into corn flakes. It's dead. And then on top of that, they're putting synthetic stuff. By the way, they have food scientists that work on just cornflakes alone. Okay, all of these what I call dead food or fake food, they're fake. They're not real. Okay. They actually create some type of formula so that they give you enough. There's that bliss taste, that bliss where they're gonna give you just enough. They're gonna give you just enough sugar. They're going to give you enough of the food taste that you're looking for, right? It's very opioid, actually. It's opioids. Sugar, you know? But then you get satiated enough, but you're not really satiated. You leave it, but then it makes you want to come back for more. Opioids. They really are the true opioids. Sugars and flours. Okay? You understand that... It's funny that our babies today, our children, this is what they eat in the morning. And their bodies, their poor developing bodies, they cannot take that. Remember, our kids, their digestive system is still trying to strengthen itself. It hasn't completely developed. Their immune system is still trying to develop. And then you're going to give them this fake food. You know, it's not just the fact that it's fake. There's no nutrition in it. Lots of sugar. And you know how sugar affects kids, you know? They're going to have behavioral problems. They will not be able to think right. They will not be able to concentrate and they will not be able to focus. Why? Because sugar tends to excite the brain. You know, you're not going to be calm on sugar at all. We got to be more mindful. We really have to be more mindful. We can't just say that the food that you're eating has got nothing to do with how you perform, with how you think, and how you move and how you act, how your mood is during the day. You know, if you're feeling depressed, I'd like to invite you first by looking at what you're eating on a daily basis. See, our ancient ancestors, they just know better, man. They just really know better. You're not going to find cornflakes back in those days. Do you think you're going to find cornflakes in ancient Egypt or in ancient empires all over the world? I have never seen cornflakes until I got here. Yeah. The first time I came to the United States, I was 11 years old. Okay? But I was going back. I was a tourist then. And because all my life growing up, since I was a kid, there's always going to be an egg on the table. And one kid gets one egg. One egg per kid, one egg per person in my family. And the kind of eggs, by the way, it's not scrambled. A lot of people shy away from like, what? Did you eat runny eggs? Yes, I did. I ate runny eggs. And there's something about old wisdom of our elders. They cannot tell you per se why it's better than scrambled. Like my grandpa wouldn't tell me, oh yeah, Geny, or actually he called me Liit, okay? Oh yeah, Liit, eat this runny eggs because there's good fats in the yolk. You need the choline in it. And the egg whites, they're great too, but you gotta eat all of it. He didn't tell me that. All he did was that, eat this and don't ask, okay?
This series and many others can only be found exclusively on Amexem. Quickly sign up with our 3-step process to get started. The link to access your trial is in the description below. We'll see you in the next chapter. Peace and love.